Hi, in this video I'm going to talk about the CA2 for distributed programming, and I will do the demo of the application first, and then I'll talk about my contribution for this project. So first we have to start up the server, and server's running, and then we have to start up the client. I will run to client just to demonstrate the interactions between two clients. This one I'll demonstrate the register. So we'll create a new account, log in with it, works, and in here I'm going to use an account that is already created. Okay, so this is the main chart. Everybody joins, everybody comes in here, comes into the main chart. They have no choice not to join. And in the settings is where all the functionalities are. So if you create a room with a password, make the password simple. And if this guy tries to join, which is DSFSD, and the password is okay, he joins without a password, he won't get in. But if he joins with a password, he'll get in there. Or he can be invited by somebody who's already in the chat. So in this case, A is going to invite him. If you get invited to a password protected chat room, you won't be prompted to get the password, because it makes no sense. People invite you in and you have to type the password. And then you can directly chat with somebody else. So say this guy wants to chat to A, puts in A's name, and then message tab's gonna come up. The @ sign symbolizes that this is a private chat. The hash sign says this is a public chat. So in here they can talk to each other. And if one guy leaves and the other guy still try to talk, he will get put back into the chat. But if he logs out and the other guy still tries to talk, all the messages that he sent will be stored in the database. So when this guy logs back in, he'll get all the message back here. And the last part is this feature, chats allow, is only for admin. So you can see A is admin and red is not. So in this case, we have 5, which is default of chat rooms allowed. So you can create up to 5 chat rooms. There you go, 5 chat rooms, and then the button is disabled. You can change this, but you have to come back, refresh for some reason, and then you can add more if you want. And just one thing, if we see this one, SDF, which is here, there's only one user here. So if we leave, it should disappear. So this is the function where the server is going to clean up the chat room if there's nobody there. So the chat room will get removed from the chat room map that we use to sort. So that's pretty much the demo done. So I'm going to talk about the code now. So I've written 3 files for this project: server, chat manager, and chat manager interface. So the server is very simple. It's nothing much different than what we have in class. So here is the start method. The port number is 1022 hard coded in, and start the registry by passing in the port number. And then we create 2 objects, and I put in the chat of the main chat object in here. I added this in here in the server because I think it's the most is the place that makes most sense to place it in, because everyone's gonna join and we only need one main chat. So I decided to put it in as we create an object to the remote object that the client's gonna use. And then we just bind it in and just have some printlns to say it's created successfully. And in the chat method interface, sorry, looks very messy because of the Java docs, but they're just a bunch of method headers with all the methods throwing remote exception because it's being called remotely. So the interface extends remote as well. So in the chat manager, where all the methods are, extends unicast remote object and implements chat manager interface. We have three private variables here. One hash map called the chat map is gonna have an association with the chat name and the actual chat object. And the active clients map is gonna have an association with the chat name and a list of clients in that chat. So, and then we have a integer that represents the chat room limit. In this case, the default is 5. We have the constructor here. A few. I'm gonna run out of time because of the screen recording thing I'm using, so I'm gonna skip through some methods and just explain the important ones. So they're just fairly simple methods. And if we go to here, send invitation. So this method sends an invitation from one client to another when somebody invites somebody. So what it does is it gets the client, gets one client C1 by passing in the main chat and the client's username to see if the client is online, because if he's online, he has to be in the main chat. And the second client to see if the guy who's trying to invite someone and that someone is already in that chat. So this one checks if the client is already in that chat. If C1 is not equals to no, that means the client that somebody is trying to invite is online. And C2 is equals to no, that means they're not in that chat they're trying to get invited to. Then you will send a message over to say invite, and then the GUI is gonna handle all the boxes and the confirmation and stuff. And this get client is just a loop, and register for callback is the same as the one we did in class. So if not registered, we wrote this method to check if a client is registered in a particular chat. If they're not, register them, get the chat name, add them in to the active clients list, and then we have a message sent to the do callbacks, which is below, to say that, just tell everyone that somebody has been registered for callback, or somebody's online or joined the chat, or something like that. An unregistered callback does the opposite. So if the client is registered, remove them from the list, and then you do callback, telling everybody that somebody has left the chat. And in here we have an extra functionality that does what it does is checks if the chat name is not equals to the main chat. If it's not equals to the main chat, it checks if that chat is actually empty. If it's empty, the chat will get removed from both of the maps. If it's not, then it will stay there. And we do this check here for the main chat because we don't want to remove the main chat. The main chat has to be there with or without client. And then here's just a simple method that says remove user from all chats. Just does unregister for callbacks instead of we calling the unregistered for callback every time. We just have a remove user from all chats. And we have do callbacks, which is in the client, and it calls a get notification. And then callback client just call back to one particular client, and then we have the is registered. So that's all the functionalities for the chat manager, and more details can be seen in the Java doc. I'm running out of time here, so that's it. Thank you very much.